Greetings, Fiend and Fiendettes. It's been a while, but I'm back. It's another installment of Uberdemon's Movie Morgue. Uh, I want to address a couple of things real quick. I've been going back and watching some of my older videos, and I noticed that the verbal cuts that I give myself, I sometimes miss. And I wanted to inform you as to why I miss those cuts. Sometimes when I'm splicing these together, I do it pretty quickly generally, and I'm usually watching or something or doing multiple things at once. So that's why you see some cuts. I apologize for that. I'm going to try and do a little better on this video. But that and moving on to something more important, I wanted to address the crisis in Japan. Those of you know I'm a huge fan of Asia and Japan in particular, along with China, India. I'm an Asian fanatic. Um, I am really sorry about the tragedy in Japan. I think it's one of the worst atrocities in recent history, and I hope that things get straightened out sooner rather than later. And my heart goes out and my thoughts go out to all the people who are in Japan. And again, I hope things get better soon. And I'm going to dive right back into the movie morgue here. I don't know how much of my shirt you can see, but maybe that'll help. I've been to the Horror Hound weekend yesterday. That was Friday, March 25th. Um, the unfortunate thing with the more recent horror hounds that have come through Indianapolis, I haven't been able to spend a lot of money or time there. I'm thankful that I get to go and spend a little money and a little bit of time with some of my favorite celebrities in my favorite genre. And I just want to talk about that for a little bit. Few major reunions. Dario Argento was supposed to show up for the Suspiria reunion, but for some reasons canceled. I didn't read into why. Um, but that's okay. There are several other reunions that were abound, and uh, it sucks that Argento couldn't come. But I mean, it was still a great time. There's still a lot of other great celebrities there as well. A couple of the other reunions that they were having was a Killer Clowns from Outer Space reunion and a House by the Cemetery reunion. I'm probably going to do something about some of the various autographs that I got from Horror Hounds here in a future segment. I hope to shoot that today if I have time. But back to Horror Hound. Got to meet a lot of great people. I got a couple autographs this time. I got Barbara Steele because Lord knows when she'll be through here again. And Catriona McCall, who I'm a huge fan of. I'm a huge fan of her work with Lucio Fulci and House by the Cemetery, City of the Living Dead, The Beyond. Beyond was the first Italian horror movie I ever saw at the age of 18. Granted, I've been into horror many years before that, but she's done a lot of great movies. There are also a lot of other great celebrities there that I got to at least talk to if I didn't get their autograph. One of those in particular is Robert Hall, the director of Laid to Rest. He was there with Nick Principi and one of the actresses in Laid to Rest 2, and they were promoting Laid to Rest 2. Rob was very cool. He gave me a Laid to Rest 2 poster. Just gave it to me. He's like, "This is for you." I thought he was like wanting me to buy it to sign it, but no, he was way cooler than that. He's giving me the poster. He told me to take care of that poster. The first thing I did when I came home was I framed that poster, shot a quick video of the poster framed, and posted it on his Facebook wall because I wanted him to see that I was taking care of the poster. And super cool guy. Talked to him for a minute. I felt like I almost took up too much of his time because he's there for all the fans, not just me. But it was cool to get to talk to him and shake his hand and say I really loved your work. Another really cool person that I didn't get an autograph from, but I got to talk to for a minute was Robert Kurzman of KNBFX, formerly now of Creature Core. He moved his studio out to Ohio, which is really cool. Really super nice guy, very down to earth. Just like handed me a DVD or a CD that has the mass catalog for Creature Core, which I definitely want to order some stuff from there sometime in the near future because they got a lot of cool stuff. He's an amazing effects guy. He directed the movie The Rage, which I love. Did the effects for the Dawn of Ashes music video, which I love, and he's done the effects, and I think he's even directed a couple of Mushroom Head music videos, which Mushroom Head was there too. I saw them walking around. They're pretty cool too. I saw Jeffrey Nothing. I don't know if you recognize me from online. I'm sure he's got thousands of followers online, but I definitely recognized him. We've chatted a couple times online before. So many different celebrities there. I mean, I spent a grand total of 90 minutes because that's how fast it took me to drop a decent amount of cash. And I'm going to show you my haul here shortly. But again, lots of great celebrities, lots of great times. In the 90 minutes I was there, I've developed a whole ton of memories that I'm never going to forget. Again, back to the autographs that I got. Barbara Steele, very cool, very stoic. She commanded her autograph table uh, in silence, and it was just awesome. So I grabbed a still from Black Sunday because that's like to me the most iconic Barbara Steele image. Even though I loved her in Nightmare Castle and several of the other films she's done, but I was like, hey, can this is the one I want you to sign, and the guy that was with her, because a lot of these celebrities that come from out of country or they have a representative with them that helps collect cash and translate or feeds information. And I told her what my name was and how to spell it, and she said, "Oh, that's my son's name." And I thought that was really cool that Barbara Steele and Barbara Steele's son and I share the same first name. And back to Catriona MacColl, I got her autograph as well. I had to get a Still from the Beyond since that film has a special place in my heart, and she's just as you would imagine. She's very well represented in all the special features on DVDs you've ever seen. Just as charming, even more charming in person and in real life than seeing her on the screen. But great person, very personable. We talked very briefly about her experiences working with David Warbeck and the Beyond, and she said, as I heard many times from many other people on very special features, David Warbeck was a great person to work with. He was just everything was a joke and a laugh. Life was a joy to live, and he was just a great guy to hang around. And she asked me if I ever had the chance to meet David Warbeck, and I said, no, unfortunately, I didn't get to meet David before he passed. And I mean, it was just a very personal conversation about a love of an actor that she had worked with and that I enjoy watching. Again, short amount of time spent there, and I always do the early entry thing, so people are usually still setting up when I'm running through grabbing what I want. I usually go in with an idea of what I want based on the vendors that are going to be there. This time I planned a couple of things, and I pretty well stuck to what I was going to stick to. Again, with limited cash and limited time, I basically ran and grabbed what I wanted most and got out when all the cash was gone shortly thereafter. Again, had a blast. I can't wait till it comes through again. I'm going to do it again. But Horror Hound is well, it's the only horror con I've ever been to. It's the only horror con that's ever been to Indianapolis that I know of, aside from Famous Monsters, but I didn't get a chance to go to that one. But Horror Hound's always a blast whenever I go. And I'm going to kind of show you some of my haul. I got this after the convention. It's the newest issue of Morgue. Well, soon not to be. It's the end of March, so the new one's going to be coming out for April soon. I also got this a couple weeks before the convention. This is the newest Horror Hound magazine, and there's an ad for this weekend's Horror Hound Weekend on the back with some of the celebrities that are going to be there. Also at Horror Hound this weekend, this time around, they did another horror host tribute to Zachary, the Cool Ghoul. Kind of breezed through the horror host room real quick to see who all was there. A lot of the great classic horror hosts were there. So I think I saw Sammy Terra walking around at one point, which he's a Indiana horror host. I was kind of hoping to run into Count Gore Duvall because I wanted to see if he still had any copies of Every Other Day is Halloween. Unfortunately, Count Gore was not in that room when I was breezing through there. But it was cool to go through and see all the horror hosts that were sitting there. I got to see Joe Bob Briggs, the back of him real quick. Again, I just did a quick sweep of that room. But yeah, I talked to Robert Hall and Robert Kurzman, and Robert Kurzman also directed Wishmaster, the first one. But I talked to them in the HMA mask room, which was really cool. I bought a couple of masks there, a more expensive one and a cheaper one. And that was really cool. And of course, they had their usual vendor room and a couple of screening rooms, as they always do. Now, I'm going to talk about my haul for a minute. You've already seen the t-shirt. I'm wearing it right now. As usual, they had their convention programs. It has two covers, one on the front, one on the back. This is the going the right way. The other cover is just an upside down cover on the back to show, these were the two major reunions that we had here. This is the Killer Clowns cover on the very front. On the back, you have the House by the Cemetery alternate cover on the back, which is really cool. But again, it's this typical Horror Hound program, smaller mini issue with some of their usual feature items and covers, the movies that, they're having reunions for, the bigger reunions for, a couple of ads and a couple of posters. Very cool. I always like picking those up at the convention. I'm going to cut into a couple other things. I mentioned the autographs. Again, I'm not going to show those right now, but I'm going to do an autograph feature of all the autographs that I've gotten at Horror Hound conventions here shortly. But I'm going to show you a couple of the things that I got here. I'm going to start with this guy over here. I was showing you this spot before. This is right below, right above here is where the signed Hellraiser pictures that I have that I showed off in, I think it was my first or second episode. But I bought this Scream 4 Ghostface figure. This is the older model. I hear that they're replacing, I read in the newest Horror Hound that they're going to be replacing the cloth with like vinyl. But this is the actual cloth Ghostface, which is pretty cool still. He's very he's got like 14 points of articulation. So getting him to stand that pose was kind of difficult. But I like this pose the most, and I think it looks pretty cool. He kind of topples when I'm getting DVDs in and out, but very cool addition, and I'm glad I bought him. Continuing on with Scream, I'm kind of on a Scream kick right now, which you'll see more on that later. Scream 4 is getting ready to come out. I enjoy the Scream franchise. I don't care what people say. I mean, it's a typical slasher franchise, but not. And I grew up watching slasher movies of all kinds. This is kind of at the end of my slasher, thing growing up, and I still enjoy watching the old slasher movies. And it was good to go back and watch the Scream movies again. But this is the zombie Ghostface variant mask, which is very cool. I'm glad I picked that up. I'm going to show you another mask here in just a second.